UNF is by far one of the most beautiful campuses nature-wise. You know, we have this just gorgeous environment around us. We have 400-acre nature preserve, 5 miles of nature trails that students can utilize anytime. It's just fabulous, and I think on multiple levels that benefits the university. Not only does it give a great environment for the students that are here, but it also is a great thing that attracts students. The environment is extremely important to all of us. Not only is it important to our health, you know, clean air and clean water we drink, but it's critical to the economy here in Florida particularly. Tourism is one of the biggest economies we have, and nobody's going to come to a polluted beach. So the goal of the Environmental Center, we started about 10 years ago, and it was really a dream out of a couple faculty to really be a center for education and research related to the environment, and particularly to be interdisciplinary, open to all students, not just the biology department or the other physical sciences.
The Environmental Leadership Program was started last year to start developing the next pipeline of environmental leaders. Three main areas that we concentrate on in the Environmental Center are our parks and preserves, St. Johns River and the coastal communities, as well as sustainability, and that's urban sustainability as well as campus sustainability.
The university obviously creates a tremendous amount of trash, somewhere around 2.5 million pounds every year, and about 10 years ago we didn't really know much about it, and so we worked with physical facilities who handles operations on campus such as waste, and they could benefit from knowing more about what the waste stream was like. And what better way to do that than engaging students? And that's really what we're about, is engaging students in these activities. Stacy Wheeler from the Political Science Department came up with this great concept of doing a waste audit using student volunteers. So we do somewhere close to 1,000 pounds every year from 4 different locations using over 100 volunteers. And most other campuses would do a much smaller, like building by building, using 10 volunteers at a time. And we believe getting so many volunteers involved at one time helps build that community, and that's really what we're going to need to really protect the environment for the long run. Ballinger Gardens is a different department within health promotions, but we're really involved with them as well as Eco Adventures and other departments. Ballinger Gardens really started as a student idea. One of the students, Katrina Norbaum, really wanted to have a garden on campus, and she actually worked at our department as well and Eco Adventure. And she went out and found funding from some generous donors, former alumni, and she started a small garden by Eco Adventure right there in the parking lot, believe it or not. And it was so successful that they were able to attract more funding from the community to build the bigger area, which you know of now over by the old skate park. And the whole concept is to really get students learning how to grow their own food. It's in health promotions because it's a part of nutrition. You know, it's getting outside, exercising, and eating healthy. And again, building that community. And they really provide a great service. And something that, from a sustainability sense that we really like, is they're starting to sell some of their produce to the cafe. And it's used mainly in the cafe, not really the restaurants around campus, but the salad bar and the daily meals that they change every day. So it's really cool to have students growing food on campus and then selling it to the cafe, but also learning how to do that at home. It's a really great asset.
The goal for Eco Adventure, one of our, is to kind of give the tools necessary for students to get involved in the outdoors, whether that is taking them on trips or just renting out gear for them to do their own trips. Expanding overview into Eco, you also have the Osprey Challenge course, which I'm in charge of. And one of the things that we like to do is give students the opportunity to build in some type of way. Build either with teamwork, so we have specific programs based off that, leadership, communication, but also personally as well. A lot of things we talk about is facing fears, overcoming different obstacles, and growing in that way. One of the more important, I wouldn't say the biggest, but more important parts of the conservation, because you can protect an area and whatnot as much as you want, but if if you're not using it as well, I think people will lose the respect for it. So you can have an area that's perfectly protected and whatnot, and it's good for the environment and whatnot, but you also should take the opportunity to enjoy that environment as well.
I think the first step in someone thinking or being environmentally cautious to begin with is to get outside and to appreciate it. And if anything, I think Gear Check Out the Trips is doing that at least. I mean, taking students down through 8.5 miles in the Everglades, we showed them things they'd never even seen before. So that's, I mean, they had no idea mangrove tunnels like that existed, or that you could paddle right next to an alligator and it's not going to attack you and eat you. So it's, it opens students' eyes, I think, to at least the environment. I don't know many other schools like UNF that are in the middle of a city with a nature preserve on campus. It's pretty crazy.
You know, the university's long had an environmental tilt. It's kind of was built in the middle of a bunch of trees and swamps and lakes, and it's always kind of had a cadence tied to feelings about the environment. It's why our coastal biology, coastal engineering programs are so strong. And we wanted to kind of put a stake down on some pieces of this campus that we don't want to build on or develop and try to preserve it. And so you've got this, you know, campus that's, you know, just a few miles from the beach, a few miles from downtown, right next door to a massive retail outdoor mall, but you feel like you're kind of settled in the middle of a forest somewhere. Well, there's sort of a national movement to try to move campuses towards a green status, and that will be reused water and reclaimed water, insulation in the buildings to reduce the electrical use, the use of natural light where it's optimal, insulation in buildings. And so we've signed on to try to match sort of a national progression to be as green a campus as we can be.
Every university has a responsibility, and I'm glad to work at a university that takes it seriously, especially with President Delaney. He's done a lot within his tenure here, and we have values here at UNF, stated values, and one of those is a responsibility to the natural environment, which is not something that you would see at most universities. And so there's really, you know, so many benefits to having the type of campus we have and protecting the natural environment that surrounds us. It really makes us unique, particularly in the landscape of Jacksonville and the south side that's just developed. You know, even when UNF started in the 70s, I mean, there was nothing here, and now there's just the town center and all these developments around us. This will be kind of the oasis in the middle of a big developed area, and it's going to benefit the university and the community for many years to come.